All right, so we're recording. We're probably not quite ready to start though, right?
No, not ready yet. We're gonna let some more people come in. I wanted to just make sure I have everything ready on my end, because there's always the technical difficulties, no matter.
No, not always. Not always. I'll be sure to let people in.
99% of the time.
We're gonna be that 1% today. I have a feeling.
Okay.
Not worried about it.
All right.
So I'll let the people in, and like as far as questions, do you want to just kind of do this more workshop style, like people unmute their mics and ask questions? You want them to drop them in the chat and we answer them as we go, or do you want to save them for the end?
Hold on, my screen is okay there. I was like, oh gosh, am I freezing up? I think what's best is probably to do like, people can unmic or unmute, or like hit the raise hand button, or if they want to do something in the chat. And
sure.
Then Julie, because I'm going to be sharing. So Julie, you're going to have to monitor that if you would chat me.
Yep.
Perfect.
I'll let people in and I will monitor the chat for you.
Awesome. Hi, Kristen. Oh my gosh. Awesome. So excited for everybody coming in. Donovan, I'm so thankful for Donovan. He messaged me this morning and reminded me of something that I wanted to put in this presentation that I had completely forgotten about. So I'm so glad that he messaged me out of the blue and reminded me. So he gets A+ today.
For the assist.
For the assist, yeah.
Not for the assist.
I'm so glad.
Message. Okay, Nicole, your host. She got you as host.
Yep, cool. Awesome. So what we're going to do, we're just going to hang out for a few minutes. As you know, realtors are always a couple minutes late. So we are going to, we're going to just chat for a few. So let's just see how things are going. Julie, what's new with you? What do you got going on? Anything crazy happening?
No craziness at all, which is the way I like it. So Lee just left he's at the airport now. So he's going to be gone for a few days. At the follow-up.
You guys get the ladies today.
You know, right? No, Lee today. He was going to try to jump on from the airport, but I don't know. Well, maybe he's on, because there's two Lee Moradises on here.
I only see one.
Oh, there's just one. When I switched screens, I saw it again, but it's the same login. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So we have Julie, I'm making you co-host.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been good. I feel like we have a lot of stuff going on this month. I mean, we're rolling into Q3 hard here. Well, we've already been in Q3 or Q4
now.
But yeah, I feel like this month we have so much stuff going on. I'm speaking tomorrow at an event for a Real Producers event. I'm super excited about. So I have that. Then we have a Creator Con with Robert Courtney, who is going to be hosting, which is going to be a really long day. It's like a 12-hour day, but I don't think I'm going for the whole thing. And then we have another event coming up. If you guys have read Exactly What to Say, they're actually doing a event with the author of that book. So I'm super excited for that one. So that is coming up too. And then these are all obviously local events. And then Julie and I and some of the other ladies are in the works for planning our next Level Up event. So I am super excited for that, because it was a huge success last year. So hopefully, Angie, I know you're listening right now on here. You better come up for that one.
No, I kind of like when things slow down a little bit this time of year, because it's so fun to just, explore and do these different workshops and events. And that's what fires me up. I really enjoy doing that. Getting away from the day-to-day transactional all the time and just doing this fun stuff. So looking forward to it. Probably gonna do that in January, right? If we can nail down a venue and a date. That's where we need to start. But doing them several times, it just gets easier and easier. It's just, I think the hardest part is the date and the venue. right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're excited about that one. So that's coming up early in the year. So we're super excited for that. And then I think we have some awesome masterminds coming up here soon. I can't remember. I know Nikki Wolf is going to be back on, and she's going to be doing another one on branding, which I looked at her presentation the other day and it's so good. So we're going to have Nikki back on doing that. And we're going to, I mean, there's just some good stuff. And if anybody has a person that they would love to have on Modern Agent Blueprint, shoot myself or Lee a message on socials and, or in an email or whatever, if you have our contact. We'd be happy to reach out to some people. If you guys, if there's somebody that you're like, man, I would really love to have them on, I think they could like give so much information, because obviously, you know, there's a lot of people who come on these meetings who know more people than I do. So if you know of somebody who you are like, man, I would love to have them on there and just, you know, have them share some of their knowledge, I would absolutely love to reach out to them. So 100% feel free to shoot me over their info. We are, let's see, we're at 4 after, so we're going to kind of get right in here. So thank you guys all so much. We're already recording, so we don't have to do that. So welcome to our Modern Agent Blueprint today. I'm your host, Nicole. As you probably know, you've seen me on here a few times. And today we have Julie in for Lee. Julie's on all these calls as well. And she is taking Lee's place as host with me, because he is going, where do you say, Follow-Up Boss event?
Yeah, Follow-Up Boss conference in Vegas. So he's going to be on his way there soon, back to Vegas. Didn't we just leave Vegas?
We did. And you know what? That
yeah,
Follow-Up Boss party was like the best night of my life. So if Lee's going to do that again, I am so jealous.
Every night's not like that. He's going to come home a little ragged, but yeah, Nicole, thanks for this topic. You know, I think it's a really good one. You're always like in front of like all the stuff that, you know, we kind of need right now. And I think the topic about, you know, listings, twofold. I mean, you know, we got a little spoiled, I feel like, over the past couple of years, right? Just put the sign in the yard, put on the MLS, and there the offers came. Yeah. And we need to obviously, as the market's turning, get a little bit more creative. And also, with that being said, we need to we're going to still continue to compete for listings, and we need to separate ourselves and differentiate ourselves, get a little bit creative. So I love this topic. We need to stand out. We need to have, remember Bill Svoboda, I love that Modern Agent Blueprint we did, differentiate or die. Yep. You know, what is your value proposition that you bring to the table to these listings? So good job. I'm looking really forward to seeing what you have to present for us today. I'll be monitoring the chat, you guys, but you can feel free to raise your hand too, and we'll kind of, you know, take them as they come. Like while you're on a certain slide, we can take the questions right then. So
definitely, you know, and I think too, the other thing about this is, you know, there's, you know, might be some agents on here who are like, well, I don't even have any listings. Like, how does this pertain to me? You don't have to have the listing to promote it. You can, you know, get an approval from the agent who's listing the house and market it. I mean, it's free marketing for them. Like, yeah, you're paying the money for it, but guess what? Like, that's free marketing for them. And if somebody says no to that, move on to the next one, because somebody else is going to want you to promote their listing. So it's just getting more eyes on the property. So if you don't have any listings and you're like, what am I even going to do with this information? There's plenty in here that's going to be good for you. And we're going to also talk about some cool ways to get your open house noticed. So we're going to get right into it. So hi to everyone who just hopped in. I know we just had like 4 people hop in. Hi, Isaiah. So I'm super excited to have everybody on here, and let's see how this screen share goes, because like I said, you know how this is the fun part. Hopefully it works. All right. Can everybody see my presentation here? Julie, give me a thumbs up if you can see it.
I do. I see your, maybe you can,
I'm going to
go on present mode. So it's full screen.
I'm going to right now. Yep.
Perfect. There we go. No snafus. All right, let's go.
Awesome. Okay. So getting your listing noticed and exposed to the masses. And then we're going to talk about those clever open house ideas to bring in buyers. I'm going to move my screen. I have it minimized. So if somebody raises their hand, I don't know if I'm going to see it, but Julie is going to monitor that for us. Okay. So hopping right into this. So I'm going to kind of read along, but then really talk to you guys about this. So the market has shifted. We know that it's time to pivot. Like Julie just said, you know, we got really, really lucky for a while there. We had it easy as listing agents. We didn't have to do a thing. Honestly, you didn't even have to take nice pictures. You didn't have to do anything. You just had to put that house on the MLS and it was done. It was sold within 24 hours. You had 10 offers, 30,000 over, appraisal guarantee, 60 days, occupancy for free. You had the world in your hands. And, you know, the days of putting the house on the MLS and calling it a day, they're over, at least for now. I mean, I hope that that comes back because those were some good paydays. Let me tell you that. But we need to get back to our creative marketing and setting ourselves apart from the others, the other agents, because, you know, just like Julie was talking about earlier, differentiate or die. We have to set ourselves apart. If we're not setting ourselves apart, you're going to get lost in the shuffle. So those who stand out are going to stay. And you have to ask yourself, which way is this going to go for you? Are you going to be able to set yourself apart? Are you willing to put in the work? Or are you just going to call it a day and say, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this market isn't for me. And if that's the case, talk to us because we have some options for you. If you do not want to continue on in this market, let us know. Or if you know agents who are not interested in keeping their license active, we have some great options for them. So you know, the interest rates going up and millennials waiting for the crash and everybody waiting for the crash. That's, I had to put these in here because I think it's hilarious. So let's get right into it. So
I wanted to say that the interest rate one. Like,
I know, is that so funny? I loved it. I had to put that. I found the girl, and then I put the interest rates in there because she looks terrified, which is hilarious. All right. So what we know, if you're on this call, clearly you are interested in figuring it out. You want to be one of the people who stick it out. You want to be one of those people who stay for the long haul. So congratulations for making the time to get on this call. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys have something to take away from this. So we really want to continue to see success and we want to stand out in our markets, right? We want to find a method that works to get our listings sold quickly and for top dollar. Even in this market, it's still possible. We want to get creative and we want to have clients raising their hand to work with us. We know that the rates are high, but we also know that they will eventually come back down and we have to know how to explain that to our clients. We want to know, or we know that the market is more of a normal market. When I got into real estate a few years ago, this is how the market was. That COVID market was insane. That's just not how the normal markets work. And we know that we're prepared and we know how to handle this. So from there, we're going to talk about ways to market your listing. So we're going to jump right into this. Let me minimize this again. I was trying to see people's faces, but we're just going to have to not do that. Okay, so ways to market your listing. A lot of these you're going to be familiar with, right? So putting it on the MLS, but the problem with just putting on the MLS is only people who are set up on a specific search are going to actually see that. So how do we get more eyes on the property? Well, you can promote it on Zillow, but only people searching on Zillow are going to see that. So if people are on Zillow and they're not on a search already, they're not going to see it. You could door knock. So you could go to the neighbors' houses, you can knock on the doors, but that does have a limit because you're not going to probably door knock, 500 houses. You're probably just going to door knock a specific neighborhood, a specific street, etc. So again, you're not getting eyes on your property enough. You could do mailers. Although I don't know what your mailbox looks like right now, but mine is campaign, political campaign flyers that are, this big. And I just throw them all away. I don't even pay attention to them. Now, I know that a lot of people do mailers. I do mailers. A lot of times though, they're just thrown away. They're not, you have to be so consistent with it and you have to be able to dedicate the time and money and energy into actually staying consistent with it. And not a lot of people do that. I'm one of those. I mail like once and then I do it again in 6 months and again in 8 months and I'm never consistent with it. So, my age group, I mean, I'm in my 30s and, I don't really pay attention to the junk mail. So that's kind of one of those things where we have to see like, who are we marketing to? Posting on Facebook, it doesn't really work if you're just posting on your personal page. But then again, does your business page get a lot of views? Are people actually looking on your business page for information or is it kind of dead? Mine's kind of dead. I don't know about everybody else's. Nobody really goes to my Facebook business page. But if you do digital marketing right, in the correct way, it's a game changer. So all of these things work in their own ways, but combining them with a proper digital marketing platform and plan, you are going to see a lot more eyes on your property. So what if, kind of imagine here, what if you had thousands of views on your listings, you're generating tons of interest, and you could share that data with your client? You could say, look, I have promoted this listing. Look at how many views I'm getting. What if you won the listing before you even got there because of your marketing tools? And what could you provide as proof of your success to ensure them that they are 100%, you are the agent for them before you even walk in the door? What if you knew all of this, and how impactful would that be for your value proposition? You know, we talked a little bit about that earlier. Julie mentioned your value proposition. If you could provide all of this for your client, even before you walk in the door, think about the value that you're showing them, opposed to somebody else who is just showing up with a buyer's or seller's guide and, you know, the contract in hand. What if you could actually show them proof that you are the agent for them? So we're going to talk quickly here about how to win every listing. So this is going to go into a lot of stuff I've learned from several different coaching programs, you know, lots of different stuff. I mean, a lot of this is all about showing up before you even step foot in the door. You have to show up. So whether that is in, yeah, I put on here, not to the actual door, don't be a creep. You don't want to keep showing up to people's houses uninvited. Don't be a creep. Don't be a weirdo. But you want to show up several times before you ever step foot in their door. So what does that mean? That means doing videos, sending them CMAs. That means your whole marketing kit, which we're going to talk about in a minute. You want them to see your face multiple times. So we're going to talk about a couple different ways on how to do that. One of the ways is dropping off a marketing box and kit before you even do the marketing or do the listing appointment. So let's say somebody calls you, Julie calls me and says, hey, I want to list 123 Main. You know, what do I have to do to get it ready? What do I need to do before we meet? So you can come up with an entire marketing kit that you can drop off at their house prior to the listing appointment. Sometimes that can get a little tricky because if you are talking on the phone with somebody and you're going tomorrow, that might not be the ideal situation. You may have to bring some of this or email some of it to them, or do a video that you send to them explaining a lot of this stuff. But your marketing kit, let's say you know they're not able to meet for a week. They want to get some stuff wrapped up before they meet with you. They want to get the house cleaned up. You have time to be able to go over there and drop off a marketing plan, your commission tiers, a CMA, testimonials, anything that can show social proof of why you are the agent for them, that you are going to be the rockstar agent who's going to sell their house and get them the most amount of money possible in the quickest amount of time with the least hassle. So you can market all of that to them and give that to them prior to the appointment or in the appointment when you're actually there. I think showing up before the appointment and being able to do some of this stuff beforehand is going to be key. I don't know about you guys, but I send pre-listing appointment homework to every single client. They all get homework. So the homework's going to be, I usually send them the seller's disclosure. I send them things to have ready for the appointment. I send them a homeowner's information sheet, which gives me who they're, what do they owe on the home? What's the HOA? Who's the HOA contact? Who's their internet provider? Who's their gas and electric provider? What is the average cost of your utilities per month? Who do you use to cut your grass? Whatever it may be, any of those things that we could easily pass on to the next person. It's taking one more little step out of your, closing day when, there's always those questions at the end. Oh, like who cuts their grass? Who does their snow removal? Who's their, pest control? Having all those things up front, I can easily go back, grab that sheet out, and I know all of the information right there, including an estimation of what the utilities would be. Obviously, it varies based on family, but you can at least give them an idea.
It also makes you look super thorough, right? And they're buying into you. You know your stuff, right? So it's a buy-in to you already too, to do that. So I love that.
Yeah, I think I actually just got a referral the other day, and the agent said that they were considering doing for sale by owner. So I sent them a super thorough email with all my stuff in it, all the information, a little bit of data, a CMA, all my pre-listing homework and all the stuff. And I'm sure they're going to look at that and be like, whoa, I didn't think of any of this stuff. So I think it's really, you know, I'm trying to demonstrate my knowledge and what I bring to the table, my value proposition, by giving them, hey, this is all the stuff I'm going to need. Did you even think about doing any of this when you were going to sell it for sale by owner? Probably not. So, but next up is kind of the same thing, doing your research on the property, the neighborhood, being invested in them and their goals and what they want to accomplish and how they want to accomplish it, and not just getting the listing. I think if you are more, you know, we're supposed to be servants, right? Like we serve, not sell. So we want to make sure that we are invested in our clients and how we can serve them better, how we can help them get to their real estate goal, whether that be, maybe it's moving to South Carolina, maybe it's moving closer to grandkids or moving closer to their parents or whatever it may be, whatever their goal is. Maybe it's, I just want to sell this house and get out of it because I just inherited it and I don't want to deal with it. That's their goal. They just want to get rid of it. How can we get rid of it as quickly and as easy as possible for them? Because we want to we know it's an emotional connection to this house. We want to just, you know, knowing what they are dealing with and what you want to be invested in them. Long story short, not just getting the listing. Providing proof of your value proposition. Be clear on what your value proposition is. And you kind of want to dangle the carrot in front of them. So I don't necessarily want to give all of my information, all of my stuff at the first appointment. I want to make sure that they are also interested in what I have to offer. So if somebody's not willing to sign my listing contract at the listing appointment, I do not leave all my stuff there. I bring it home because I don't want them being able to then go back and show it to somebody, another agent who could say, oh, I already do all that stuff. I just didn't tell you about it. So I don't always leave everything. So like my staging guide and some of my other marketing materials, I don't leave. I go through it all. And I usually will say, when you're ready to sign that contract, I will give you all of this stuff. I just want to make sure that you're ready for that, because this can be very overwhelming. So I don't make it sound like, hey, you're a jerk, you're not signing with me right now, I'm not going to give you this stuff. I just say, I don't want to overwhelm you with too much stuff right now. So when you're ready to sign that contract, then I'm going to go ahead and we'll come back over and I'll go through all of this with you. You also don't want to just leave and hope for them to call you. You need to remind them, and this kind of goes with the dangling the carrot, remind them that you have contractors for them. So maybe they say, I really want to get my house professionally cleaned. I have this, I want to get this carpet on my stairs replaced, but I don't have a guy. I don't know what to do with this. What I usually do is just remind them, hey, I have these contractors. So when you're ready to sign that listing agreement and we can come up with a timeline, I'll be happy to send you over my vendor list to make sure you have really good qualified contractors. So they're going to take really good care of you. So again, dangling the carrot of your value proposition. Send a thank you card. And then also you want to set them up on some sort of drip campaign. If they are not ready just yet, you want to get them set up on an email drip. So they're getting stuff from you. Maybe they're not ready for 6 months. So you need to set them up on a drip campaign to where they are going to start getting your emails every week, every, couple days, whatever it may be, with your videos. So again, showing up multiple times. They're seeing your face all the time. So we want to make sure that we're staying in front of these people regardless of when they're going to sell. Any questions on anything yet? You can.
I wanted to ask you, the pre-listing stuff. Mm-hmm. Like you said, if you don't have time to drop it off, are you using High Note to do that?
I have used High Note. Yep. I've used High Note a lot. I don't know if anyone has watched that Modern Agent Blueprint, or if you have subscribed to High Note. It is incredible.
Yeah, that's what I do. And so if anyone wants to know more about it, go to our YouTube channel, the Modern Agent Blueprint, and look for that. The High Note mastermind that was done. It's been a while, so you'll have to scroll down a little bit.
Yeah,
but I think it's an amazing visual tool for people to really see everything you have to offer.
Watch that video, but like to explain what it is, basically it's like, instead of putting an email together with all these links and all these different things and graphics and all this stuff, instead of doing something like that, it's a one-page, kind of like a website that you can add graphics, links. I use it a lot after my clients are under contract. I put all the contract details in there. I put everything in there, all the next steps. My, you're under contract, now what email was just obnoxiously long. And I'm sure people were like, I do not even want to read this. So putting it into this form makes it it's digestible. It's a lot small bites instead of like a, 3 scroll email. So I think it's really helpful, but doing something like that, I know Julie has done that for pre-listings. She's got a video in there explaining stuff. I mean, you could do a video on explaining your CMA. You can do your video on your tiered marketing or your tiered commissions. You can do just about anything right in High Note and then send that over. And the best thing about it is it has analytics. So it can show you how long somebody spent on each part of that email. Or that website. So it's pretty incredible. If you want more information on it, you can message me as well. And I can send you some info. Okay. So moving on to digital marketing. So there's lots of different ways to market a property, tons of different ways to do things. We're going to break it down into 3 things though. Okay. So you have your open house. So one thing that I don't think I see many people doing, and I don't really know that I've really done this for my clients because I haven't done an open house in a hot minute, but coaching your clients on how to post about their house being for sale, if they're comfortable with it, obviously, but you can coach your clients on how to post their home for sale and to promote the open house. I think that is something that most agents don't really do. We don't really say, I mean, you can make a website for them. You can, send them the stuff. Half the time they're going to send the Zillow link out. If you're with EXP and you have KV Core, give them your KV Core link to post, because if they are posting that, you want those leads coming back to you. So make sure that you are utilizing the technology you have, but really coaching them on what to say, how to write it out, all of that. I think that's super important. And, talking to them as well about, do you know of any of your neighbors who, or anyone who might be interested in moving into your neighborhood? Has any of your friends, expressed interest in this that maybe I should reach out to? That's a great way to get more eyes on that property. Obviously, you can run ads for your open house. And if it's not your open house, run ads for other local open houses. So with KV Core, again, you can go in and you can make a landing page for all open houses in your area. So you can go in there, run an ad for open houses. Again, everyone who clicks on that link, you're going to get their contact info. Those are people who are actively searching for houses. Obviously, if they're looking for open houses, they want information. You can also post to your local Facebook groups next door, if it's allowed, about your open house. So if you have a community page that you're involved in, definitely post about the open house. We're going to talk a little bit about those clever ideas in a little bit, so just hold tight on those. But any group that you're allowed in, those buy and sell sites, mom groups, if they allow you to post in there, do it. And a lot of them, I know some of the local ones that I'm in, they do small business promotion like on Saturday mornings. So that's when you can go in and post your open houses, post, any of your links, any of your information. Make sure you're getting yourself out there.
Bill said it'd be a good idea, and I think you kind of touched on it on the first point, is to just give them a script to post on social media. Give them your KV Core link, but then give them the words to say. Make
literally
it
copy paste.
Cut and paste.
Yep, copy paste. Put this right into your Facebook. Yep, for sure. Make it as easy as possible. Otherwise, they're going to go off cuff, and maybe it's not going to sound exactly how you want it. But if they want to add some like lovey-dovey stuff about how they're so sad that they have to leave their house, have them do something like that. But if they don't know what to post, 100% coach them, script it out, whatever you want to do. So if you are marketing a property, you need to have a little skin in the game. So adding some ad spend to your post is going to be huge. And we're not just talking about boosting a post, because boost posts don't really do a whole lot. You really need to be running actual ads with those properties. So if you have the budget, $250 per ad is going to help you get a massive reach. Now, when we're talking massive reach, we're talking tens of thousands. So if you are really trying to only focus on a certain range, that's fine. Lower your budget, because lower budget, you'll see, you can make your radius on Facebook change. So if you're trying to stay within a certain area, you can do probably less of an ad spend. But if you are trying to get those numbers to be able to show your clients, hey, I can get 75,000 eyes on your property, you're going to have to put a little bit more money on it. So look at what your ad spend is. I'm going to show you a screenshot of one that I had tested out for a client, and I'll show you what that looked like. So marketing your listings or other people's listings, obviously, there is a brokerage in our area that has built its entire business on marketing other people's listings. I mean, it's brilliant, honestly. I mean, you don't even have to have the business to be able to market it. So why would you not take the time or the money to just post an ad for somebody else's listing? Any of those leads coming in are your leads. So if you have the budget for that, absolutely do that. Even posting to your personal page, other people's listings, we see it happen all the time. It is a great way to get free marketing. Social media is one of the best places. A lot of it is free marketing, a lot of like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all of these places are free. So utilize them. You can put ad spend behind it, but honestly, getting in front of the people and getting them to see your face and what you're doing, if you're doing it on a consistent basis, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's the person I need, because I see her everywhere. She's doing all of this stuff. Posting educational videos to drive your audience to your Facebook page will help you be that go-to agent. So again, showing up, whether it's posting listings, educational videos, posting them on all of the sites, all of them. Get out there, get your face in front of people. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Make sure you're posting in your stories, in your feeds. We've talked about this before. I was ignoring Facebook stories for a long time. It's at the top of the page. It's at the top of the page because they want you to use it. Make sure you're using it. A lot of times post a story on Instagram, save it, post it to Facebook. I get more views on my Facebook than I do on my Instagram, and I have way more followers on Instagram. So make sure that you are doing it in both. Stay consistent. You want to make sure that you are doing live videos. So do a live walkthrough of your property. Do a live walkthrough of the open house. If you are working an open house, hopefully you have somebody else there with you. Have them do a video of all the people walking through the house. Have them do a video of, you talking with a client while looking around the house, whatever it may be. You want to drum up excitement about that property. Doing coming soon campaigns, I think even in this market, I think it's super exciting to be able to see a new house that's coming to the market soon. It's going to get you the first chance at letting your client know, hey, I just saw this property. It's coming soon. We're going to get it ready to go. I'm going to talk to the agent about it. Getting your foot in the door. If you already know the agent because you're on socials with them, get your foot in the door. Be like, hey, I think I might have a buyer. Let me know when we can get in. Maybe they'll let you in, first appointment of the day or something, or get you as much information as they can. Post your business page with proper marketing materials and incentive to show up. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But when I say proper marketing materials, professional photos. If you guys have list reports, I love the list reports presentation. I think it's so cool. If you guys don't know what that is, it's usually paired with a lender. I don't know if it has to be, that's just how I do it. But it's a document that shows how close it is to restaurants, schools, what the school rating is, all the different stuff about the neighborhood, how close it is to like the golf course, how close it is to shopping and restaurants and all that. I think it's a really cool marketing tool that I don't see a lot of people utilizing. So having something like that, even at your listing, is a great way to show how great this area is, really pushing the, you know, what is it going to be like, the, you know, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but you know, the experience of living in that house. Like, what is it going to feel like to live there? Like, one of my houses, one of the biggest selling points was it was 2 minutes from Target. So being able to put something like that on there, like, it is 2 minutes from Target, and you don't even have to get on a main road. So like something like that is going to appeal to a lot of people. Maybe not to everybody, but to some people it will. Okay, so this is the ad I was talking about. So now this was a potential listing that I had. So I ran a mock-up of what the listing could look like. Now, this was when it was a model before it was the actual person's house, because it was the only photo I could find because they bought it as a model. But this house was beautiful. And so I ran it with I don't even think it was a $250 ad spend. And you could see the potential reach was over 2,000 to almost 6,000 views just by running the sponsored ad. So you don't necessarily have to do a massive ad spend, depending on what you want to do. You know, if you want to get, maybe you want to work this like luxury market and you really want to like hone in on, you know, certain luxury stuff, maybe go wider so you can get more eyes on it, because maybe like this area specifically where this house is, it's a luxury neighborhood, but outside of that, it's not really. So if I wanted to really focus in on that neighborhood alone, I would maybe make my radius a little bit smaller, but then maybe I want to do a second ad in a different area. You can do that too. So
yeah, I mean, Isaiah just said the branding alone is huge, and he's right. You know, you want to be a luxury agent, do this. Anybody can do this, right?
You could take,
and there you are.
Yeah, you could take any listing, get the approval of the agent, obviously. But you could take any listing and run an ad like this, calling yourself the luxury lister, whatever you want to be.
I like it.
You know?
Can I tell a quick story about this?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we actually had somebody in our network who actually did just that. They came up with a brand for themselves. They had never sold one single property before. And what they did is they went out and they just did tours of other people's luxury listings. And it took about, it took a little bit to get some momentum from it, but then they started actually getting people reaching out to them. They're like, oh yeah, you're the luxury listing guy. And they're like, and then it was like, the whole brand just kind of took off from there. And it's such a really creative, powerful way to do it. And even if you don't want to like position yourself as like just for luxury listing, the other power in it too is when other people, like let's say you're purchasing or you're spending money on internet leads or whatever it may be, when you go to that listing appointment, they're going to research you afterwards or before. They're going to look at your name, they're going to look at your social media, and when they see these beautiful homes that are associated, what they say to themselves is they say, oh my gosh, if they're doing that for them, like what, and if they're trusted with them, like why would I not trust them? Right. So just the really powerful idea, Nicole.
Well, so here's the other thing. Here's the one caveat I'll say to that is I have had people who are like, oh, you won't sell a house like mine. My house is too small. So I do the same marketing for smaller houses too, because I don't want people to think I'm too good to help them. I want people to know, hey, I'm going to do the same thing for you as I do for them. You're my client regardless. I don't care if it's a 12,000 commission or a 4,000 commission. I'm still going to do the same amount of work for you. And I want people to know, so I'll do the same kind of marketing for both. And I think it's impactful. And even as a buyer's agent, when I walk into a house and I see like all this like marketing spread, I'm like, oh, good idea. In fact, I stole somebody, and I didn't steal somebody's. I have like somebody's marketing paper that they left. I think it's over here somewhere. I was like, I love this idea. So, take some people's ideas that you see, do it your way. I think it's really smart. I'm going to show you something that I did too, that I got a lot of compliments on. So using this process, you're going to get thousands of hits, shares, likes, comments. You're going to expose your home to a broad audience, right? So, you don't necessarily need to hone in and do all this special targeting. You can figure out some targeting, but if you want reach, you want reach. So you have to figure out what your goal is. Do you just want reach? You want that number to show, or do you want clicks? Do you want people messaging you? Like the learn more button that's over here, you can do whatever, you can change this button around. So you can do click here, message agent, whatever you want, you can change that button there to how they're going to contact you. That learn more button will take them back to my KV core. So we want to make sure that we're getting those leads. Okay, so pre-market information to potential buyers currently searching with a coming soon campaign. So you could run a coming soon ad like this. You could run the coming soon ad, just on your social media, whatever you want to do, you can, drum up the interest. I love showing coming soons. I love when I leave a listing appointment and I pan around and show. Now I try to keep the address out and I don't say what city it is because you can get in trouble for that. So I try to be careful with that, but just to be able to show, hey, 3-bedroom house coming soon, message me for details. If they're messaging you, you're not marketing it out to everybody. So at least you can, keep it, maybe, keep it between a buyer and seller, maybe dual agency. Virtual property tours added to YouTube with a description crafted to enhance the search engine optimization. So virtual tours, everybody loves virtual tours. Who doesn't like to go to Zillow or on Facebook and watch property tours? I love seeing what houses look like in other areas. Now, I am pretty guilty of also just showing like the funny things I see in houses, but actually showing like the pretty houses or like the cool, unique features of a house, I think are really important, because that's also you're going to figure out what people like and what people want to see. And you can, kind of create a social media presence that is geared toward those certain things if you want to. Actually, this is the same thing twice. Ignore that. Target market ad advertising on social media featuring property tours. They can do 50,000 views, comments, likes, and shares. How impactful is that going to be to show your client, look at this, I can get your house 50,000 views. Would you like 50,000 eyes on your property? Because another agent's going to get 200 because they're just putting it on the MLS. Which would you prefer? Right? Like, I want to show what I'm doing to go that extra mile for them. Also, changing things out. So running ads, doing like a A/B marketing, strategy, looking at, okay, maybe this house did really well. Maybe I switched to an interior photo. I had an ad running for a property that I had, and the best picture that got the most views was a weird picture of the basement, but people wanted to see it. I don't know why. It was a weird picture in the basement, but that's what people, that one got the most views out of the pretty interior photos, all that. They wanted to see the basement. And going in and changing out positioning. So making sure you're flipping, maybe changing photos around, keep it fresh. Maybe changing the verbiage around so people don't think it's the same house every single time that they're seeing. Okay, so I got to move you guys around again on my screen. So running weekly Facebook ad campaigns targeting local and out of area buyers. So maybe even broadening your range to even reach, out of state people. You could, if you wanted to. I don't love Craigslist, but you could go on Craigslist and post your listing in other areas. There's too many scams on Craigslist now, so it's hard to justify whether you want to do that or not. But that is something you could do if you have the time or want to even go that way. Instagram posts about the home, how to reach the market and other agents in other states who may have relocation clients. So if you have, in Michigan, it's a little hard. We have a lot of people moving out of Michigan, not a ton moving in. I shouldn't say that. There are a lot moving in, but more so moving out. So if you're in Florida, I feel like I see a lot of people moving to like Fort Myers or, somewhere, beautiful, Hawaii, Texas, wherever they may be. Find some relocation agents there if you are in that area, and find some people like from Michigan who might want to share their listings, because there's a lot of snowbirds up here who want to get out of this cold. And if I can find somebody who I'm working with in this certain area, I can then be sharing their stuff. Like, hey, have you been thinking about moving to Florida? Hey, what do you think? I mean, I was on vacation in Florida, posted a video from the beach saying, how amazing would it be to wake up every day and this could be what you did on your Saturday afternoon, just come and lay at the beach. And I got a buyer out of it. I had my client sold their house in Michigan and moved to Florida because they were like, I didn't know you could help us move to Florida. Like, I got a referral out of it just by posting something like that. So maybe find some people in areas that you know your area is moving to, those hot spots that you're gonna, be able to create some sort of relationship with, and get some of their listings to post. Virtual tours and photos are going to be on my website. This is something that's obviously, I took this out of my listing presentation. That's why it's like, all like curated for me. So I'm going to post your stuff on my website with the description to enhance search engine optimization. Constant analytics that show us our online data that we can tweak the campaign to increase the traffic or conversion. And then target market potential buyers to determine who's the most willing to buy. So if you are using Remind, those people who are maybe like there's my neighborhood, for instance, has a ton of people who are in the high likely to move, I don't even know how it's worded, whatever, most likely to move. I could start marketing to those people these listings. Maybe they're interested in my neighborhood. It's usually, it's a good mix of some bigger houses, smaller houses, mostly bigger houses. So I could start, and it's mostly an older neighborhood. So posting like downsizing stuff, posting smaller houses, snowbird houses, stuff like that, targeted to my area, I could easily build up a reputation for having all of these listings in this area that maybe they're going to end up contacting me because they keep seeing me showing up, right? So your back end, now this is an old screenshot. I don't think the back end looks like this anymore, but it's going to be similar to this. Okay. Anybody have any questions about this stuff so far?
I'm just looking in the chat. So Bill had said Levi, he's referring to Levi Laxick. He's an EXP agent that built his whole business on YouTube videos. And what Levi recommends is that your virtual tour should only be done on $1 million listings or higher, because people aren't going to look otherwise at the virtual tours. That's kind of his.
For the YouTube channel. For
the YouTube channel. Maybe not so much for social media. I don't know. Well, I guess you want to look at the really pretty houses, right? The pretty
everybody
ones.
wants to see the pretty houses. I mean, I've looked at, I love Levi's, I love his whole thing. I think it's smart. Yeah. He does a lot of interesting things. I'll just talk about some of the stuff he does really quick. One of the things, and this is so easy, anybody can do this. It's literally going into Google Maps and doing a video walking through your town. Like, oh, here. So you literally, and it's not even like, when he was mentioning this, I was thinking like a street view of like moving the cursor and you're walking down the street. Not even like that, literally just like Google Maps, like the actual street map, and saying, okay, here's our town. This is the town we're looking at. Here, it's about this far from the, 45 minutes from the airport. You're 20 minutes from this town, 10 minutes from this town. There's, oh, here, let me zoom in a little bit more. Oh, look at how close you are. Look at all these great restaurants that are around here. You could do that in any city. You don't even have to have your face on the video. People want to know where things are in comparison to, especially for people who are moving into the area. That's a really amazing thing that you can do. I think obviously, yes, for YouTube, people want to see the pretty houses, but I think people also love those videos. Like, what can $500,000 get you in Ann Arbor, Michigan? And doing a video like that, what can $200,000 get you in Ann Arbor, Michigan? And doing a video showing a $200,000 house. I mean, those are things that you can do. You don't even necessarily have to have your face in the video. I think it's important for brand recognition to have your face in there, but not every video has to have it. So these are a great way to really show your knowledge of the area. Doing videos of neighborhood tours, like literally my plan This summer I did not do it, but my plan was to have my daughter record while I drove and just record going through the neighborhood, going down the street. How close are the houses together? How close is it to the grocery store? How close is it to the park, to the school, etc.? Easy things that you can do. Okay. Anything else, Julie, in the chat? No.
Nope. We are all set. I'm answering questions as they come in.
Okay. So, okay.
Oh, Bill just said you could drop a link for Remine or Remine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about open houses. So where are we at on time? Oh my gosh. I need to talk fast.
I know it goes so fast, right?
I know. Every time I get done with these, I'm like, I just need to sit here and breathe. All right. So let's talk about some ways to get your open house noticed and make it a huge success. So obviously you really should be marketing your open house with paid ads to drive potential buyers to the listing. We want to make sure that we are getting as many eyes on that open house as possible. So not only posting it on your personal social media pages, but also running ads with it. Door knock the neighborhood to invite them to the open house. I just was reading, oh my God, what's the book? I just posted about it the other day. Ninja selling. They were talking about going, and I think this is so smart. I've heard this in other books, but introducing yourself to the name on the face on the sign. So going door to door and saying, hey, I'm selling the house down the street. I'm selling 123 Main. I just wanted you to know who's going to be in the neighborhood. I'm really, I'm excited to be working in this neighborhood. I love this area. Give them flyers to show off your marketing, doing one of those like pick your neighbors, asking them, do you know of anyone who is interested in moving into this neighborhood? Really just telling them who they are or who you are, because every day they're going to be driving by your sign. So now they've met you, they know your name, they know your personality a little bit, they see your face every day. You're going to be running ads in the area. Now, hopefully when you're done with that listing, you're going to send just sold postcards. So it's like your face. How many times are you showing up in front of them? And then continuing to market to that neighborhood so we can make sure that we stay top of mind. Giveaways. So doing a giveaway or open house, register to win a gift card, an iPad, car wash certificate, massages, AirPods, whatever it is that you want to do. Give them some incentive to show up. Well, the next slide has a couple other ideas too. Give them something to hold. Give them something to hold in their hands. Maybe it's a buyer's guide, a local events guide, comps in the neighborhood, HOA bylaws, an update list, something for all of those things. You can easily have everything in a little folder that you can give to all the people come in. Just staple it all together. Give them something to leave with. Again, your face is on that. If they are not working with another agent, now they have all of your information, plus all the information on this house in this neighborhood. So I think that's a great idea to give them something to hold. All right. Host a mega open house with a food truck, an ice cream truck, coffee truck, something like that. Get people excited. When you go door to door and you're knocking and you're telling people, or even send out flyers beforehand about this open house, enticing people with food, ice cream, or coffee, like that's a big deal. People are going to see that in the neighborhood and they're going to be like, my agent didn't do that. Like, what? That's crazy. I can't believe they're doing that. That's awesome. Partner with a lender to share the open house with. It's not only great for safety, but it also puts them right in front of a lender to answer any questions. You can share costs with them, and they could help with refreshments, or they can chip in on the food truck. Now you have split marketing. It's cut your costs in half, and you have somebody else there to help you make sure everything stays safe, and it puts them right in front of a lender. So if they haven't worked with somebody, or maybe they just have questions about these crazy rates, how does that affect my buying power? You have somebody right there next to you who can answer that question. So I had this as a counter display at my client's house. The QR code was to my KV Core. It had all the house details, the photos, I actually had the disclosures on another in another QR code, but everything was right there. So all somebody had to do is go up and scan it, and they had all the information. I think that is a great way to, one, collect their info. Two, it's a great way. That's what most people want to do. They just want everything on their phone. So either give them something to hold and have this as well, so people can do both. But I think them walking away with something in their hand is great. You could also do another one of these with the information on the home from list reports too. I think that's a super great thing to have, especially if your neighborhood has a really good school district and you can really show that off. I think that's really smart. Okay. Lastly, so I thought this was the coolest thing. I don't want this to start playing yet, but you can market your listing through HomeSnap. You can market it on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and Waze. So a lot of us use Waze, especially us realtors when we're driving all the time. And every time I use Waze, there's 1,000 little guys. I don't know what they are, little emoji guys all over the place. You can get your listing and your open house on Waze through HomeSnap. So I did a quick screen recording so you could see what it looks like, but you go to this is your home screen. If you go into HomeSnap, if you click down on the pro agents, you do have to have pro, and then go through that. You could click on your listing and it gives you all your options. So you can go through, here's all the Google ads. Here's all your potential Google ads that you can do. Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and then your Waze ads. So you can have all of these in there in Waze. And then I left it all like this. I didn't select anything. You can go to set your budget. Let me pause it. You can set your budget. So whatever you want to do, I just left this as it was. Excuse me, I didn't change anything. And then what your cost would be if you wanted to do a single purchase or if you wanted to subscribe. So for $177, you could run ads on all of those sites. Not for some reason, they didn't have Instagram on there, but you could run that ad on all of these sites for $177. How many agents do you know who are running ads on Waze? I'll wait. Like, nobody's doing that. So why not make yourself that person who is doing just that? I mean, I think this is an incredible way to be like, hey, I do something that no other agent does. I will list your house on the market on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and even Waze. Like, that is a huge value proposition right there, to be able to say all of the different places. And I mean, because I always tell people, I keep it in my little back pocket, you know, when people say that they are, they're interviewing agents, and I'll say, are they doing any sort of marketing? And they'll say, oh yeah, they're doing Zillow and this and that. And I'll just say, well, I just want to let you know, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, all of those, they just pull our information from the MLS. They're not actually marketing it. That is just, that's how it gets to there. So unless they're running specified ads, they're not actually marketing your property on Zillow. So if somebody tells you that, it's not really actual marketing. That what I do is actual marketing. So putting that in their ear that, wait a minute, did they lie to me? Did they not give me the exact truth? Putting that doubt in their mind now makes you look like, man, she really knows what she's doing. She's, you know, she knows all of this stuff. And they never mentioned anything about Waze or, you know, any of these other sites. So this is a great way to really get in front of your clients and making sure that you stand out as the go-to agent in your area. That's it for me. So upcoming events. Tomorrow, I'm going to be speaking at the Real Producers event in our area. It's in Novi, Michigan. We're going to be talking about marketing, branding, social media panel, and networking. And then Julie and I are working on planning our next Level Up event in early 2023, which we are super, super excited about. So I want to open this up. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I was talking about?
I don't have questions, but I have a good idea. And I don't know who presented this, one of our recent calls. It might have been our morning accountability call. Going back to open houses. First of all, there's a lot of work involved in this, right? Like you got to plan for this well in advance, I think, of getting that, even getting the thought of getting the listing on the market, right? If you're planning all this, but I know we're looking for buyers, but we got to remember, when you list a house, like they always say, like the 5 on either side and the 10 across the street, like there's probably going to be 2 more houses that go up. Mm-hmm. So it's so important to get with those neighbors. And someone had recommended doing a can drive. Like you could go door to door and say that you're going to be listing the house 123 Main, and you're also doubling as, you're raising money for charity. And so if they have any cans, that you'd love it if they could stop by on Saturday and drop them off. Then I thought, well, what about a food drive? You're doing a food drive at your open house. I think this is brilliant. So it just takes a lot of planning, and you got to figure out what your thing is. And we did do a lot of those food trucks pre-COVID, and we never really got back to it, because then houses were selling so easily, and we didn't do them. But we got to remember, the main reason we do these things is to get more business, not necessarily to sell the house. So how can you get in front of those neighbors? It. Yeah.
What you just said is perfect. We're not just doing this to sell the house. We're doing this to get more business.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that a lot of people kind of forget. We get stuck in this like one house mindset. Like I got to get this house sold, but then what? Right? Then what? Now we have to figure out where's the next business coming from. But if we're doing things consistently across the board, you're going to have that pipeline back, with you the entire time. Let me stop the share here. So I think, sorry, the chat popped up.
Oh, it was Steve Guzman. Lee said he's going to have Steve do a presentation about what he does. That's cool. See, there's our next one.
Perfect. Yeah. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. We're literally, I don't know how I did it, but we are right at noon. Does anybody have anything else? Any last minute things that they want to say, or questions that they might have?
Scott had a quick question. Ideas. Tell us how to create a QR code real quick.
Oh, it's super easy. Let me show you. Let me do a screen share because it's really simple. Let me get out of presentation mode here. Don't judge my background. All right. Can you guys see? Can you see my screen? Is it okay? You can see. Hold on. That's not the presentation. What'd you say, Julie? Yes, you can or no?
No, I can't.
Okay, hold on.
Just see the gallery.
Oh, here. How's that?
There we go. Yep.
Okay. So let me pull up a project. I'll show you guys. It's so quick and easy. Let's see. Let's just go to, oh my gosh. I really hate that this thing pops up. Let's just go to this. I'll show you guys. It's so quick. So if you have a link, you can do whatever link you want. So you can do a QR code to just about anything. So let me move the screen so I can see. I'm just going to use this at the link and go back. Okay. So you can see this, correct, everybody? Julie?
Yep. Yep.
All right. If you are in, good God, if you are in Canva and you have Canva Pro, mine is on this side because I've used it before. But if you have not used it, if you go to more on the side, QR codes will show up. Okay. You have lots of different options here, lots of different things. There's all these embedded things that you can have in your Canva. But if you just go to QR code, you enter in the link and it generates a QR code. Generate QR code and it's there. That's it. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. And then you could just change it out, cover up your old one. I actually do QR codes on my signs as well. So I do a QR code to the website that I create for my listings. And then I put that right on my sign. So if somebody's walking by or driving by and they want to get more info, they can go up to my sign and scan the QR code and have all the information that goes either to my actually goes to my KV Core. Sorry, not my website. It goes to my KV Core to the link for the information.
How do you get that QR code on your street sign?
I actually bought vinyl stickers that you can print. I bought like a pack of vinyl paper on Amazon, and then I just print it. And I will say in the winter though, it really stuck. Like I had to use a razor blade to scrape it off. But in the summer, they just peeled right off. So it's almost like a bumper sticker material. So it's supposed to be able to pull off.
Yeah. And I'm guessing, so if you didn't want to pay for Canva Pro, there's free QR code generators out there too.
You can go online to literally
same
Google
thing.
free QR
Just
creator.
Google it. Yeah. It's just
in fact, the link. QR code creator that's in Canva is the same free one that I used to use before I realized it was in Canva. So it's like QRME or something like that. But you can
just dropped a link. It's a really long link, but it's to a QR.
You can do any of them.
Generator.
It's very, very simple. So you can do a QR code to like literally any website you want, and you can have all the information. There's lots of people who use QR codes for their link tree, and then like all their contact information, you can just scan it on somebody's phone, and then you have their contact info. So there's lots of different ways that you can do, different things. Anybody else have anything or any questions or any other cool ideas that they have heard of or seen done?
Put on someone else's sign. Discuss. Put it on someone else's sign. Slap.
Clever.
Devious.
They'll never know.
Funny. Well, this was super awesome. I have like a plethora of ideas I didn't know I wasn't doing. So as always, amazing value. I think a lot of people got a lot of value out of it. The recording will be on the Modern Agent Blueprint Facebook page. You can always find it there, or the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and go back and see all the other awesome stuff that's already been done.
Yeah.
And like Nicole said, if you guys have something you want to present or know someone that you think could provide some value for us, we'd love to hear from you as well.
Yeah. If anybody, like if there's something that you're really good at, or you're like, you have a ton of knowledge in, message us. We'd love to have you as a guest. I mean, we're not.
Yeah. Send us a message on the Facebook page.
Yeah. Always looking for something. Dan, I'm going to put you on the spot for a minute. What was a good takeaway from Tony Robbins? Unleash the power.
Well, it's everything. That the energy that's in the room there, it's great. It's just now the question that you asked me, it's almost the same thing as like when you see an amazing movie and then you ask, how was the movie? You gotta go and see it. It's simple as that.
I like it.
Yes.
Did you firewalk? Did you do the firewalk?
Absolutely, yes.
I want to do that so bad. I mean, I'm sure I'd be terrified, but I so want to do that.
I was terrified too. However, then the moment that I got to do it, I did not feel anything at all.
Did the boys do it?
The boys did not do it. No. It was very late at night and they got a little bit too much for them. So I sent them to the hotel a few hours early.
Dan actually took his sons to go see Tony Robbins. I think it's pretty awesome.
They got some good information from there, and it's just more into the planning and now to set up goals. So to see them there, that they say, okay, well, that's what we're gonna do. This A, B, and C. That's what's gonna be my next goals, and now I need to hold them accountable to it. That until now they were just they're kids.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good dad move there, Dan.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week for another Modern Agent Blueprint. And I am excited. I can't remember who's on next week, but it's going to be a good one as usual. So everybody have an awesome day. I hope you got something good out of this. Let us know if you have any questions. If you want more information on High Note, send me a message. You can watch the previous High Note presentation. It was with Mark Choi. You can find him on the YouTube channel as well. And if you have any questions, let us know. Have an awesome day, everybody.
Thanks.
You too, Nicole. Thank you.